Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have this week's Throwback Thursday melt review. This was a 3-wick candle in leaves by Bath & Body Works, which I chopped up, and I have numerous videos on how to chop candles up, why I chop candles, and so on and so forth. These bags here that I put all of my chopped up candles I get from L Theory Waxy Wonders. It is probably the best deal that I have seen out there. So getting on to this, we have a fellow Canadian to thank for picking this week's Throwback Thursday, and that's Deanna Rattray. And I thank you very much for selecting this. It's funny because I will say before we go too much further that it seems to be that there's, like, you know, in Twilight there's Team Jacob and there's Team Edward. I think in the world of fall candles and Bath & Body Works, there's Team Leaves and there's Team Autumn. So anyway, so let's go on to the scent note, scent notes that Bath & Body Works used to describe this candle that once was a candle. This is described as crisp red apple, golden nectar, and warm clove spice. So first of all, let me say I'm Team Autumn in candle more than I am leaves. It's not that I hate leaves at all. It is just that I prefer the scent of the candle Autumn over leaves myself. But this was obviously a candle. This is the label here that once was on an actual jar, which is beautiful. It shows all those beautiful leaves, and you know, in the fall, and it got all those beautiful colors. So I really believe that this label really did depict and show you know, the true name of the candle and kind of what it was supposed to be about. Not that it's supposed to smell like leaves, but the title itself is leaves. So I chunked up this 3-wick candle and I've melted it, you know, a couple chunks in each of my warmers here that I have in my main room. So it gives it a nice throw. So I will say that on cold leaves, scent preference on cold appeal, I would give a 7 out of 10. Again, I'm more Team Autumn versus Team Leaves myself. That's why I give it a 7. But there are so many people who love leaves, and leaves is like their #1 candle to burn, or cider lane, or things like that for the fall. Anywho, so I give it a 7 out of 10 on cold sniff. Melting, again, like I just mentioned, I put a couple of these little cubes that I chopped up into my little warmers here in my great room, and the throw is a 10 out of 10. It is screaming leaves. And what I will say though is in the scent description, it describes it as crisp red apple, golden nectar, and warm clove spice. I will agree with Shar. I'm a little behind on watching my videos, but I know Shar from Shar's Scents here on YouTube, which I love, and you should go check her out. I think she was the one who described it as it's almost like rotten apples. And I'll say this, the way it triggers scent memory for me is that when I was a little kid, and my dad packed our lunches, like my dad was awesome. He packed our lunches. He loves vacuuming, things like that. But dad would pack my sister's lunch and my lunch. And I get sick of apples. We're in apple country. That's all you got is like freaking apple, apple, apple. And I know I'm not trying to sound elitist or anything, because I know lots of places in the world apples are a luxury and things like that. But I mean, they freaking just dropped off trees, and we had them every day in your lunch, and you get sick of it as a kid after a while. So I remember putting my apples in my gym bag that I would just hang in my little gym cubby hole in elementary school, and the smell, that's exactly what this smells like, with a twist, mind you. So I have to absolutely agree with Shar. To me, it smells like over-ripened, slightly rotten apple. Is very strong. Red apple, yeah, I would say a Macintosh apple would be what I smell the most from this. I'm not an expert at apples, but like I mentioned, I am from apple country originally. We shipped apples to Japan. You know, I went all over the place. As far as the golden nectar and the warm clove spice, this is where I would say it's a rotting apple scent with a cider note. If that makes sense, like it's more like the golden nectar, like a nectar cider with the warm clove spice as a back note. So if you were to have a slow cooker and you do up a punch or a cider, if you will. And it was mainly with like maybe a nectar, like a nectarine type base juice with crisp red apple as well, and things like cloves. That is exactly what my house smelled like when this was throwing. And like I said, it's 10 out of 10 for throw. It was unreal, very strong. I still like leaves. Don't get me wrong, I like leaves. I prefer autumn over leaves for myself, which is funny because it was one of the options coming up. But that's just, again, I think it's because I had so many apples growing up and I got sick of them, and so that scent memory of the rotting apple scent triggers when I smell leaves, even when I just open it, melting or not. This is great. I know it's super popular, and I thank very much Deanna for picking this week's Throwback Thursday. I really do appreciate it. It's the first time I've actually, no, I think I may have burned a leaves maybe a year or two. Other than that, I don't really, like, I've got lots now. Like, this will keep for many seasons from now on. I don't lose scent at all with chopped up candles at all, so I will be enjoying this for quite some time. So thank you very much, Deanna, for selecting this week's Throwback Thursday. Anyone who wants to look down in the description bar, I have been posting, I'm trying to keep it down there, all the information about my trip to Dallas with my friend Ramona and Shar, and whomever else would like to come out and see all of us and just hang out and have a good time. So all the information is down below, and we'd love to see you. All of us would. So I've been leaving that on the last few of my videos. So anyway, we would love to see as many people, familiar, friendly faces as possible. Or, we probably only know you necessarily, if you're not a YouTuber, we probably only know you from your comments. So we would love to have you there regardless, because it's always great just to meet people, put faces to names and things like that. So, as per usual, down below, comment on which item I'm about to show you. There's only 5 left because the winter Throwback Thursday starts December and goes December, January, and February. So we've only got a couple weeks left. So, first person down below to make a comment on which one of these next items I'm going to pull out that you'd like me to melt or burn, let me know, and I'll come back next week and we'll do a review. All right, so as per what I just said, there's Autumn from Bath & Body Works, which was also a candle that was chopped up, as I've already mentioned. Then we have a Bath & Body Works candle in Cinnamon Spiced Vanilla. And another Bath & Body Works candle in a classic Farm Stand Apple. Yankee Candles Home Classics Spice Cupboard. And last but not least, we have, this is from M of WG in Gooseberry, and this is kind of like got sort of a Halloween look to it with the owl and so on. So there you have it, you guys. Thanks very much. Oh, you can see me. Hi, I'm wearing my schleppy sweater. All right, you guys, as always, thanks so much for joining me. Be safe, take care, and have fun. Bye, guys.